Let me ask you a question. What level is your entitlement at? Know thyself here. Please take this opportunity to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date on all of my content when I post it. So, just going through some emails and Instagram DMs that I've received over the last few days, been flushing out this idea of entitlement. Listening to some of the things that men are saying when they're sending me messages about the things that they're going through, and the idea of how entitled we all are as a society is one of the concepts that keeps popping up. And so I just wanted to speak on that for a few minutes, just to sort of give you this concept and sort of like seed this in your head. How entitled are you really? Now, I know you might be saying that I'm not entitled. I don't perceive myself as entitled. I don't act in a way that's entitled. I don't go throughout my life in a way that's entitled or thinking that things are owed to me. But the truth is that if you were born in the West, I would say anytime after the year 1980, then you live and you have lived, and to a certain degree, to a certain percentage, you live currently an entitled life. There is nothing inherently wrong with that so long as you understand that you live an entitled life. You probably lived a privileged life if you live in the West and you eat 3 meals a day. You're very privileged. I saw a stat a little while back that says that if you make more than $30,000 a year, you are in the 1% of income earners on the planet. If you know where your next meal is coming from, you are living a very charmed and privileged life. And when people live charmed and privileged lives in which things are easily accessible to them, that breeds entitlement, meaning that they just expect for those things and other things, unearned or otherwise, to just redound to them, to be available to them, to be given to them without them having to put in the real work. If you go back maybe 100 years, 150 years, maybe even if you go back 1,000 years, human beings were not entitled to eat every day. As a matter of fact, if the people within your tribe didn't hunt all day and all night and find food, your tribe didn't eat that day. Think about that as your entitlement, as you are able to just get up when you get hungry, go into a kitchen where food is being stored in a freezer or refrigerator at a temperature that allows it to last without spoiling or going bad. Or even one more level of entitlement, you are able to get up, leave your house, and go somewhere where someone prepares you a meal that you then are able to pay for and eat every single day. I say all this to say that when it comes to how we as men conduct our lives, we should be aware, acutely aware of the levels of entitlement that we enjoy, whether we recognize it or not. This can give you some perspective and clarity when it comes to how you deal with people. One of the ways that I like to think is that, especially from a Stoic perspective, is I like to let people be and do as they are going to be and let them do what they are going to do. Because it would be very entitled of me to try and control what people do, to try and direct someone's actions or influence someone's opinions one way or the other. You can express how you feel about something, but once you are done expressing it, you need to take a step back and allow people to be and do what it is that they're going to do and be and how they're going to act, without you having to be the person who says, well, they should be this way and they should do this thing because I want them to, because I expect them to, because I think it would be the right thing for them to do if they just acted in a way that made me more comfortable. They should give me certain things. They should give me leeway. They should give me the benefit of the doubt. They should. Some people think, especially there's men and women who think people should just give them things because of just who they are and what they are and where that person is, in their life. So when you think about being entitled, or you think about how you perceive the world, it is a healthy exercise to allow, to give people the benefit of the doubt, to let people be and do what they're going to do without you having to put your own spin on it or try to give your opinion or influence how that person acts one way or the other. Let people do what they're going to do. Now, it is important that when those people are doing what they're going to do, you have your own set of boundaries and standards and morals and principles that if you see actions or catch or see vibe or environment being created that you don't feel comfortable in, then you can voice your opinion, and then if it doesn't change, you can remove yourself from said situation. When it comes to dating, the advice I give to men is to state what your boundaries are, what are your standards, and that's it. Trying to make someone behave in a way that makes you feel comfortable with them is not the right answer. I'll say that again. Trying to make someone do something and behave in a way in which it makes you then feel comfortable around that person is doing too much. You have overstepped your boundaries. This is what you expect from people. This is what the level of the chaos or behavior you will and put up with. And when the person who is conducting themselves crosses your threshold, you can say, hey, I don't put up with this. You're free to do this. You're free to behave this way. But I don't put up with this. And once you have established that this is what I don't put up with, I put up with this, I don't put up with this, now that person has a choice. They can say, oh, well, if I want to keep this person in my life, I cannot act in this way. You're not saying you must act in this way or I will leave. You're saying I don't deal with this type of behavior. I will leave you. I will separate myself from your presence if it happens to be like a friend or a family member. You can say, I don't put up with behavior like that. And if you continue to exhibit behavior like this in my presence, I just won't come around you anymore. I won't allow you in my experience. And it really is that simple. People are going to have one of two reactions. They'll either change, they'll either not approach you with that energy, or they will fade out of your experience. They will exit out of your experience. And guess what? Both of those are positive developments. But the last thing you should do is egress onto someone to try and push how you want them to behave on them, because that shows that you feel that you deserve for them to act in a certain way towards you. When you start imposing yourself on people, when you start pushing yourself onto people, that's when you have crossed their line. If you are around a woman and she doesn't call you back or respect you or respond to you in a timely manner, or she disrespects you in public, or she disrespects your time or your family or your friends, you can say, I don't deal with people who disrespect my time. I don't deal with people who disrespect my space. And then you explain to her, you disrespected my space by doing this, you disrespected my time by doing this, and I don't tolerate that. So if that's how you're going to be, you might as well just not hang out with me anymore, because I don't tolerate people who act that way. You will not be allowed in my space or in my experience anymore if you continue to act that way, because I don't tolerate that. And then that person will say, okay, I'll change. Or they'll say, well, I don't agree with you and I'm going to leave and I'm not going to hang out with you anymore. Either way, those are both positive developments. So as I wrap up here, again, I want you to really bear down and think about your level of entitlement. What is it that you are doing that may be being too much to people? How are you conducting yourself? What do you think you are owed? And how can you reduce that in your mind to think that anyone owes you anything? Nobody owes you anything. And if you live in that way, everything you receive from people is a gift. And so with that being said, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into my content. Please hit the like, hit that subscribe button, and hit that notification bell so you stay up to date on all the content when I release it. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will see you guys on the next video. Okay, take care of yourself. Bye.